Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon, viewers and subscribers. Yesterday, the Northern Ethnic Nationality Forum had a very powerful meeting. And in that meeting, they conveyed a very powerful message to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, telling the president not to consider Kashmir Shettima as his vice presidential candidate in the 2027 presidential elections. That if he considers Kashmir Shettima, that reoccurrence of Muslim tickets again will have a very devastating blow to the success of the APC in 2027 because of how they are judging their opinion, their suggestion to Bola Ahmed Tinubu based on the political dynamics and how the political pendulum is swinging right now. And what the stories they have gathered with their observation is that the vice presidential, the Muslim ticket is not going to yield the result it brought in the 2023 elections. And they are suggesting to Bola Ahmed Tinubu to consider a Christian vice presidential candidate from the northern part of the country to set that balance. And the reason why they are raising this alarm is because of Peter Gregory Obi. That Peter Gregory Obi joining forces with Atiku Abubakar in that coalition is going to affect that Muslim ticket, and that will cause the downfall of APC because APC will not emerge as victors in the 2027 election. That is what the powerful message that the Northern Ethnic Nationality Forum is sending to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I will bring you what they are saying surrounding their decision. And I told you that why their decision is being built upon the fact that the unity of Peter Gregory Obi and Atiku Abubakar and other political players in that coalition, it threatens the APC success in 2027. So they are suggesting that the ticket should be a balanced ticket that is going to also give the Christian community that right and that power to come out and demonstrate their franchise on the ballot in 2027 to support the APC. But before I bring you what one of the members of the Northern Ethnic Nationality Forum said about why they have concluded and they have made this decision and suggestion to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I want to tell you that yesterday, Dele Farotimi had a 60-minute conversation on News Central with the editor of the platform of the institution. And you know the passion that accompanies Dele Farotimi's position whenever he's talking about the state of the country. Just listen to what he said yesterday, and after this video, we'll come back and talk about it.
But there is this proverb I'm very, very fond of using, and it highlights the issue I need to address. And it deals with relativity. It says, what concern is it of the baboon if the chimpanzee has diabetes or even running stomach? It's not his business. They might look alike, but they are not the same. The government and the people within Tinubu's government and their beneficiaries, they should say what they are saying, since they consider Nigerians to be incapable of determining by themselves and have to be told whether they are hungry or not. The reality is, where were we 10 years ago when the APC government came to power? I know they like pointing at Buhari as being the disaster that preceded this disaster. But the reality is that it's the same APC. There are persons within that government of Buhari that are inside this same government. Somebody like Kiyamo, for instance, of the 712 billion naira airport renovation budget. So they should say that the system is getting better. It is their right to say so. They are enjoying. Their lives are getting better. The average Nigerian whose real income has evaporated will not say what they are saying. The real Nigerian who is spending his salary to fill a car tank, a car that he knows he cannot replace by the time that car packs up because his salary is meaningless, his business devalued. The naira itself, the naira is so devalued that you'll probably find more dollars in the Nigerian bank than the naira cash. That is how bad. They're talking about infrastructure development. You see, the problem with us is that we tend to look at issues superficially. A government supposedly serving the people unilaterally awarded the contract for a road to Calabar, coastal road to Calabar. Of all the things required by Nigeria with almost 20 million children out of school, under the ages of 14, out of school, almost 20 million. That is the population of a lot of countries, both in Africa and in Europe. But we have 20 million brains that we can discard because all they need is to recruit more agberos, more terrorists, more headers, more bandits, more people who are incapable of questioning them even as they destroy the country. So it's okay. They don't need to fix that rot. They don't need to fix the rot in healthcare that I've seen almost every doctor of note fled the country. There is absolutely no need whatsoever to take a look at critical infrastructures that have collapsed completely.
You've watched the video, right? You know that anytime Dele Farotimi comes out to talk about the state of the nation, his statement, his position, and the ideals that he brings out to describe the state of the nation always drops like bomb in the camp of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC camp. And he's talking about how Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government, those who are enjoying their own part of the loot in the mess that is going on in this country today, believe that they have that moral justification to come out and tell Nigerians how Nigerians are feeling, what the experiences of Nigerians are under the watch of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The experience that they are not part of because they are enjoying their own part of the loot that is going on, that has left Nigerians backward, that has subjected millions of Nigerians into this dire condition, this excruciating condition of famine, insecurity. And then they believe that we, the Nigerian people, who are the subjects of this experience, are not worthy of coming out to tell the world what we are feeling under the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So they are the one that come out to tell Nigerians that, oh, Nigerians are no longer hungry. Oh, Nigerians are enjoying. Oh, there is security in this country. Just the same way you saw how members of the APC came out and started giving Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Nuhu Ribadu plaudits that insecurity has degraded in Nigeria, while Nigerians are crying in different parts of the country. The only thing that surrounds Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is their own personal interest. Governance have been abandoned the day Bola Ahmed Tinubu assumed leadership in this country. In his inaugural speech, he abandoned governance and he started promoting his personal interests that very day. And only through his words, he threw this country into this position that we are experiencing today, into this condition that is characterized by hunger, insecurity. We cannot mention them. So there is nothing positive about the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And that is what Dele Farotimi is telling Nigerians, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has neglected key points that he would have made impact. You are using $15 trillion to Naira to build a road, a coastal way. And there is nothing, no improvement in our health institutions. The educational institutions are decaying. Nigerians cannot even afford their basic needs. In my yesterday video, I told you how a United States agency came out and told the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in their report that Nigerians are living below the income poverty level, which means Nigerians cannot even afford their basic needs of shelter, clothing, and feeding. Today, Nigerians struggle to have one square meal. But the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is budgeting billions upon billions in things that don't really matter. You allocated 15 trillion for a coastal way, 21 billion to renovate a vice presidential. Now they are talking of allocating under 712 billion to renovate an airport. Why insecurity is ravaging this country. Nigerians cannot feed very well. All these key parameters that Bola Ahmed Tinubu should have improved on for the benefit of Nigerians He says no. His own priority is on where he's going to allocate the money so that the looting will be large for his political associates and for himself and his family. And that is the message that Dele Farotimi is sending to Nigeria, to Nigerians, that this government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu doesn't consider Nigerians. And that is why he used that story of a baboon and a chimpanzee. That the baboon doesn't care, or the chimpanzee doesn't care about the problems of the baboon. This is what is happening to us in this country today. The Bola Ahmed Tinubu government doesn't care about the plight and the challenges that confront Nigerians. Now let's get back to my first story as I bring you the video of what a representative or a member of this Northern Ethnic Nationality Forum said regarding the Muslim ticket and their reason why, their fear that is pushing this position that Bola Ahmed Tinubu should remove Kashim Shettima as the vice presidential candidate and replace him with the Northern Christian candidate. And then after this video, we'll come back and wrap up this update.
We are not saying there is anything wrong with Shettima, but what we are saying that there is everything wrong with the Muslim ticket. The Muslim ticket is a betrayal of our national covenant, which was engendered by our founding fathers, to avoid polarization, to avoid, disenfranchisement of certain, religious group. And in the 2023 general election, there are a lot of Christians that were, disenfranchised as a result of that singular Muslim ticket. But you see, talk about, distraction. This is not a distraction. Like I said, we are only, advising Mr. President. And the onus is on Mr. President to pick who his running mate is in 2027. We are saying when that time comes, do not consider a Muslim
Why don't you
ticket.
wait for that time?
Well, if you are talking,
is it not too early in the day?
It's not too early in the day, because preparation precedes manifestation. You must be prepared. If you are not planning, if you are not preparing to succeed, then you must have been planning to fail. What we are telling the president, listen, what we are telling the president as members of the All Progressive, Congress, as members, as citizens who are in touch with the grassroots, is that, look, there may be quietness now with these issues, but when the campaign commences, seriously, I'm telling you that there is going to be serious issues, because you see, the Muslim ticket, if it is retained, is going to pose a threat. Is going to deplete, our support base, because as I speak with you, and this is a very serious information, there is this information that Atiku and Obi may align. The opposition coalition, they are not sleeping, they are working very seriously. And if Obi and Atiku comes together, we are talking about almost 14 million votes, as against our 8 million votes in the past, in 2023 general election. So what we are saying is that, Mr. President, look, you have to, and not only that, Jonathan is around the corner. The issue of Jonathan, nobody should wave it aside with a simple wave of hand, because it's a serious issue. There are certain persons within the North that are pushing for Jonathan. Bring back Jonathan to them. In fact, they are forming a cult-like kind of a follower. It's an agenda for most of them. And if Jonathan is in the ballot, Atiku and Obi are in the ballot, believe me, the Muslim ticket is not going to fly. So let's have a balance on that ticket, so that we can be able to, reach out. People like us that are within, from the North Central, from the Middle Belt, can talk to our people. We can go to churches, we can go to Christians' enclave and speak to them, convince them, enlighten them, to vote for our party.
You've watched the video, right? Now they established clearly that what has really pushed their decision to suggest to Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he should remove Kashim Shettima, or he shouldn't consider a Muslim ticket in 2027 election, is because of the popularity and how Peter Gregory will be thrown off balance in the presidential elections in 2027. That is just the reason. And they know Peter Gregory will be to be their threat. That is why they cannot keep his name out of any conversation. And you see the reason that surrounds their decision is Peter Gregory Obi's influence. That is their fear. I want to tell Nigerians that Peter Gregory Obi's success in 2023 had nothing to do with religion. Whether he won and got more votes in the Northern Central, and because the Northern Central is predominated by Christian, it doesn't mean it was because of Peter Obi being a Christian that Nigerians came out, or the people of the North Central came out and voted for him. We voted for Peter Gregory Obi because of competence and credibility, and how he regards Nigerian people, and he will do everything to make sure he ameliorates the sufferings of Nigerians. He cannot do everything, but at least we will see that somebody is committed to making sure the Nigerians have a better life and is going to commit to the progress of this country. That is what we see in Peter Gregory Obi, and that was why a lot of Nigerians came out and voted for him in 2023, and that is why we still vote for him. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do whether Christian community came out and supported Peter Gregory Obi 100%. The really point of discussion here, the subject of discussion here about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, him being re-elected in 2027 or not, should be based on competence. Should be based on what he has delivered in his first term. And I tell you, judging Bola Ahmed Tinubu by those parameters suggests that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed completely. Because as terrible as late former President Muhammadu Buhari's government was, we had it better then than what we're having today under Bola Ahmed Tinubu's watch. So they see that the political trajectory is changing already. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows it. And that is why he's making his calculations to make sure if he can, he could remove Kashim Shettima and bring in somebody that will garner him the votes he needs in 2027. Because the northern part of the country have already come out to tell him publicly that you are not going to have our support again in 2027. I believe that their decision of not voting for Bola Ahmed Tinubu again in 2027 could be built on the basis that he has not considered the northern part of the country. But there is no region of this country that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has considered more than the southwest. Not even the southwest, Lagos State. So the conversation here surrounding Bola Ahmed Tinubu's candidacy and who is going to run with him, or whether he stands the chance of winning the 2027 election, should be based on his performance and not religion. We know that when it comes to politics, ethnicity and religion plays a better part, the most part, in the decision of Nigerians to elect people who will lead them. But right now, that story needs to change. It's not about religion, it's about competence and credibility. And with Bola Ahmed Tinubu's performance, competence is zero, credibility is zero, commitment to the life and the progress of the country is zero. So on what yardstick can we measure Bola Ahmed Tinubu to give him that pass mark for him to come back and seek a re-election again from Nigerians? It is not possible. So it is not about religion. It's not about Muslim ticket or Christian ticket. That is that should be the concern of the APC. But the concern of Nigerians right now is that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed. And Nigerian people have made that resolution that we are not going to entertain failure again in 2027. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Always remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Please turn on the notification bell so that you'll be the first person to be notified whenever I have another update. Write your comments in the comment section so I can know your thoughts and opinions about my videos, and always remember to give me a thumbs up for my videos. Thank you very much. Meet very soon.